How's it going, everyone? Greetings from the 24th century, and I'm here to do an episode of Genre Files, which I wasn't even sure we were doing this week, but I guess we are, and we're all kind of late. But the subject this time is documentaries, and as you might guess by my badly fitting Next Generation shirt, I'm here to do something about Star Trek. I'm going to show you this fantastic documentary that came out in 1999 called Trekkies. Okay, Trekkies. And its follow-up, Trekkies 2, which came out in 2004. Both of these were produced by Denise Crosby, who also appears in them. She, of course, played in Star Trek The Next Generation during the first season as Tasha Yar, and then came back later on to do several really excellent episodes of that series in the next several years. Okay, Trekkies is a documentary all about the world of Star Trek fans and Star Trek conventions and what it means to people and why they got into it and why they stay. Okay, so this is something that's dear to my heart because I am kind of a late comer into the world of Star Trek, but I became a super fan back in 2005 and then started going to conventions. And I've been to, let's see, I've lost count. I think I've been to 12, maybe 13, and I'm getting ready to go to another one next week in Las Vegas, which is probably the largest one in the world. And it's always great fun to go, and I love meeting up with old friends and seeing all the actors and the directors and the writers up on stage and interacting with the audience and even dress up once in a while. And I don't enter the costume contest, but I like to wear a uniform maybe a couple of days out of the convention. So this was made during a time when all of the actors from the original series were still living. Leonard Nimoy was still with us. We had Grace Lee Whitney, Jimmy Doohan, DeForest Kelley. So all of those people appear, some more briefly than others, in this documentary. Nichelle Nichols is interviewed. We also have LeVar Burton. We have George Takei. We have, Takei. Walter Koenig. William Shatner appears very briefly, but you get to hear quite a bit from Leonard Nimoy, which is it's always a pleasure to listen to him, talking about how they feel about the whole Star Trek phenomenon, how they got pulled into the world of conventions and thought, this is not going to go on very long, but then 35, 40 years later, it's still going on. So actually, next year, 2016, will be the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, so that will be a big year for everybody. And this interviews not only the stars, but it also interviews many of the super fans who just kind of made a name for themselves, or celebrities on their own, quite frankly. For example, a woman named Barbara Adams, who, when she was selected to be a juror on the Whitewater trial, she wore her Star Trek uniform with all of her accoutrements, the badges and all that, because she thought that it was an official function that she should show herself as a Star Trek captain. She's a captain of a starship, a fan club, and she very seriously thought that it was an important thing to do, and of course got a lot of publicity for it. And it also has a dentist and his wife who are hardcore Trekkies, and they turned their dentist office into something called Starbase Dental, which was filled with Star Trek posters and toys and stand-ups and all kinds of action figures and all through, and they all wear uniforms when they're working as dentists, and just all kinds of different people who are definitely eccentric, but they're also very intelligent. They have a good sense of humor about themselves and about the whole world of Star Trek. And when I started going to conventions, and I actually met some of these people, but all the other people that I met just really added something to my life. And it's something that is so involving and so much fun that I will probably keep doing this for a long time. And Trekkies 2 takes it a little bit farther. They stay not only in the United States, but they go over to England, they go to Italy, they go to France, they go to Serbia, and interview all the people in other parts of the world who are also hardcore Star Trek fans. One of the most interesting things about Trekkies is the title, because Star Trek fans are divided on whether we should be called Trekkies or Trekkers, and a lot of people really get upset about it. And so the title of the documentary is actually an insult to some people, because they think the word Trekkie is something that is kind of a put down. Other people see it the other way, that the word Trekkie is the serious term because that's what Gene Roddenberry started calling it. Okay, so I don't know, just one of those things that people get all wrapped up in. But it's fun to see people wearing costumes and making their own little fan films and continuing the world of Star Trek, and it's just great fun. So if any of you have even a mild interest in the Star Trek phenomenon, you will probably enjoy one or both of these documentaries because they will show you exactly how it is in the world of Star Trek. So until then, for the next time, I'm going to try to do this without bending my fingers out of shape. Live long and prosper. Well, by the way, I also have a Star Trek watch, which, can you hear that? So I'm about as hardcore as it gets. And I'm happy. I like it. And I'm sitting here desperately trying to look like Jean-Luc Picard. The only thing I have in common is the shirt and the hairstyle. So anyway. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care.